Hey guys, it's Frederik. This is Pop Music Talk, and I want to give you a little update right now that I have added some. I've added a lot more songs to my last list. Is Julie here already in all caps? And I want, I want to attract more of you guys to come over and check out my list and also start to communicate with you guys over different platforms. And so I'm gonna go over a bunch more names and their songs on the list. And when we're when I'm done with that, I'm gonna make a new video for you guys about the new list that I made. And that list is called What's August Waiting For? And that is also in all caps. But first, let me start with the latest songs that I've added to Is Julie Here Already? And the last song that I mentioned in my last video was called At Ease by the artist 7 Days. So here's the next couple of songs. Actually, a bunch more songs. I'm gonna highlight maybe all of them, but here are the ones that I definitely am listening a lot to. Beginning with a song from the latest Kesha album, Red Flag, which is in all caps. That is quickly followed up by a new Ava Max song called Wet Hot American Dream. And those are both two mainstay pop artists, of course. And the next song in the list is called Sugar Baby by an artist named Elio, which is in all caps, Elio, on an album called Autonomy. And this is an artist I found on TikTok who I found to have a really good song with this one. Then the next song is called Hold Still, also in all caps. And this is with the DJ Louis the Child, along with Nikita and The Wicked. Then I have to mention someone that I also found on TikTok who I'm becoming a big fan of, Indie, with a song called Up in Flames and between parentheses, The Wayland. And for the people who don't know, and I want to highlight this for just a moment because it is important to know that Indie just happens to be a sibling of Lord. And I wanted to mention that because clearly it's in the family making music. Because this is a very good song. And what's also important here is that this is a bit of a longer song at 3 minutes and 53 seconds, which is fairly long when it comes to a good pop song. Of course, there's interludes with other subgenre, of course, because it is also fairly indie-like. It's alternative as well. And okay, that's enough about this song for now. The next song on the list is called Peace by the artist El Coves. Then a bit more into the international realm with this next song called Noventa from DJ Snake with the artist J Balvin. And this is obviously a more reggaeton song. And personally, I am not. I like Spanish songs, especially the reggaeton songs, because it's this interesting mix of different genres, but also very much Spanish, Mexican, South American culture of many more instruments together. And so J Balvin is, of course, a well-known name in the reggaeton sphere, of course. Okay, let's continue with the next song on this list. This is a new song by Clean Bandit called Believe, with the artist Loyiso. Believe with Clean Bandit and Loyiso. And this is a very good song. And interesting to know here is that Clean Bandit is a British artist. I believe it's 2 DJs together. And if you like, you can correct me in the comments below. Then next on this list is a song called Love Me Gentle by Mabel. That is quickly followed up with Bassline Flexa, which is a new Marshmello song that he has made with Joytime Collective. This is quickly followed up by a couple of songs that I found on TikTok, including Hold On You by Mercy. I'm gonna rephrase that for a moment. So the song is called Hold On You, and the artist is Merci Mercy. So I'm saying it like it is, because it's both French and English in the artist's name. Okay, and that is followed by another artist that I found on TikTok, Juliana Madrid, with a song called Jamie, which I'm assuming is about someone that she likes. I'm saying it that way to be inclusive and nice, because I believe in those things. And that is then followed by a song called Eden by the artist Daniel Seavey. That is followed. So all of these people I found on TikTok, including this one, Darla Dean Lewis with the song Throwing Darts. Same thing for Ricky Reed, which is in all caps with double I. And the song is called Candy. Then the next artist is someone that I've been following for a great while, and I always hear great songs from this artist, Shy Martin, with the song Out of My Hands. Then this next song is also from 2 artists that I've been following for some time, and I really like their songs separately, but they collaborated on this song, First Night. And it's a song by Elijah Woods. Not Elijah Wood, but Elijah Woods. There's an S at the end there. And Jessia, who I've also heard a couple of songs by. And they made the song together called First Night. And this is followed by another person I found on TikTok with an interesting song called Cravings. The latest song that I heard from Tora Lamb, that is TauraLamb, that is followed by the song Amnesia by AOK and Nightly. And I've heard of those 2 artists as well separately, but here they collaborate on this song, as the band Nightly is featured, of course. Then somebody I think is very underrated in the pop scene is the artist Secret. And she has a new song called Thank Me Later as part of her new album How to Let Go. Then there is another person I've heard for a while about, Ellie Duhe. I hope I pronounced that right, but it's spelled, just for the sake of it, ELLEY and then DUH and E with an apostrophe for the song called Body Talk. Then yet another person that I've been following for a while, Daya, who has a couple of amazing songs, including a collaboration from a while back with the Chainsmokers. Don't Let Me Down is that song that she collaborated on. She has a new song called Demise. And that is, of course, the song right before the big kahuna in this list, I think. And that is the latest single from the hit record slamming album Swag by Justin Bieber. And it's called Daisies in all caps. And this is an incredible song. And this is exactly what I wanted to hear from Justin as well. Okay, this is quickly followed up by the artist Tyler of the song Is It. And here we have yet another artist that I've been following and seen grow seen and hear grow. And it's Conan Gray with the song Vodka Cranberry. Then yet another person who I've been following for a while. And it's MGK, Machine Gun Kelly, with his song Vampire Diaries. And the next song on the list is another collaboration rather, between two people who are sadly not here anymore, so it's a posthumous song. And the collaboration is by Juice WRLD and I think I'm supposed to say Triple X Tentacion. Maybe there's a different way to say it, but this is how I say it usually. And they have a song together called The Way. And it's this soothing, soft, almost jazzy song in which they both sing. And it's a great song. And then this is followed by a bit more, quite a bit harder and electro-like. This is the song called Our Time by 3 separate DJs and a singer. And this is Afrojack, Martin Garrix, David Guetta, and Amel with an apostrophe on the E at the end. Then I want to mention somebody else that I've been following for a while, and that is Sofia Kamara. And so I want to mention here that I use Spotify a lot. And Spotify also does something called the Studio Sessions. And in fact, that means sometimes covers of other songs. And so Sophia has made a cover of the song by Gracie Abrams, That's So True. And that's the next song in this list. The Spotify single of her, That's So True, which is, I have to say, a very good version. And also, interesting note here, this is co-produced by, you know what, I'll play it for a moment. I can go and read your mind. Think about your dumb face all the time. Living in your glass outside my side. Oh, looking in a bit. Okay, so that's the song. And what I wanted to mention here is that it's co-produced by someone else that is blowing up these days, Audrey Hobart, with her song Sue Me, for instance. And so they made the cover together. And of course, Gracie Abrams is also credited as the componist of the original song. And I wanted to mention this because these are three people that have been, well, Sophia and Audrey are both blowing up right now. Gracie has been blown up for a longer while, of course. And let's continue with the list. The next song is, once again, a serious contrast from the last song. It's White Wine and Adderall by the Chainsmokers and another artist called Bo Knox. And then an interesting combination in the next song. It's the Grandes. And no, that is not the artist, but I wanted to say that because this is a song by Ariana Grande's brother Frankie Grande, and he actually, the whole reason why I said the Grandes is she features on his song called Hotel Rock Bottom, and this is a pretty good song, I have to say. And we go to the next song, which is a new song by S.G. Lewis, along with Shy Girl, who features on this song called Sugar. And this is a pretty good combination, I have to say. This sounds very summer-like for me. And I find it a very good song. I was on the train, actually, recently when I heard this song. Most of this list I listened to when I was on my way from the Belgian coast to where I live. And so this played perfectly on my way home. And it really felt like I was in a vacation mode. Yeah. Okay, let's continue with the list. And the next song is another huge collaboration. It's called Butterflies. And it's one hell of a collaboration with the artist Jake. That's JVKE. And with people from Tomorrow X. So this is one hell of a collaboration, and it's a little tough to say with all the people, or maybe not. So, song's called Butterflies. It's a combination collaboration with the artists Jake, and then also someone from the band Tomorrow X Together, and then another person from the also another group called Les Seraphim. Yeah, it's tough to read because it's all together. Anyway, so the next song on this list is the latest from Dean Lewis on his album The Epilogue. Hurts So Bad is the song. Then combination I didn't think would work this well. Pink Panthers with Danny L. Harl for the song Starlight. And I have the next song here. It's called The Weather by the band All Time Low, which I've heard about. And I'm not that actively listening to, but I did years ago. But this is a very good song. Then another person that I've come to find very interesting is Claire Rosenkrantz with the song Jaden, followed up by, and this is all placed together, Death by Devotion by the artist Adela, I think I'm supposed to say. And then the next song in the list is another new song by Sigrid, Jellyfish. And then we have another song from someone that I found on TikTok, Hana, in all caps, with the song Big, which is also in all caps. Another TikTok artist that I found was Aileen Allister with the song Playing House. Same thing for Thomas Day with She Got a Thing About Her. Then, of course, the K-pop bands Blackpink with Jump in all caps. Then a return for someone that I enjoy, Just Glynn and Rudimental in a new collaboration with the song Back to Me. And these are two British artists, by the way. The Rudimental is a DJ duo, and I will be right back in a moment. Let's continue with the list, guys. So, a bunch of people in this list, as you've heard, I've talked about before because I've heard other songs of them at this point. And these next two are not let me rephrase. So these next two I have both found on TikTok, but now they have a collaboration, and it's called Take It As a Blessing, and it's with Jordana Bryant and Alexa Capelli. And these two have a song together now. This particular song. And it's a pretty good one. It's a bit more soft. It's like a subgenre, I would say. But it's a pretty good song. Yeah. Okay. And in the same category, I would say that these next two are also in. That category being artists I've heard before, now working together on a collaboration. And these next two are Jake Miller and Neria. And Neria is in all caps, spelled Nereah. And they have a song called Rock Bottom. And it's a fairly good one. It's similar to the previous song I talked about. It's on the softer side. It has some more country influences. And speaking of country influences, the next song also leans in that direction, but is a bit more pop, a bit more band-like, especially because it comes from a band. It's called Running, and it's by Fly By Midnight from the album The Fastest Time of Our Lives. And I talked just a moment ago about a kind of category of two artists that I've heard before joining together. I'm gonna add a new wrinkle to that one because this collaboration is from two people who are finding a new version of themselves in the current times, because they are what I consider to be a bit older than most of these artists that I've already mentioned. And these are Craig David, who had a good couple of hits in the arts, and the same thing for JoJo. And so these two have made a song together called In It With You, and it's a fairly good one, I have to say. You know what, I'm gonna play it for you. That's Craig. Yes, I'm swing. So that's their song together, and it goes on like that. And the lyrics are not gonna win any awards probably, but it's still a very enjoyable song. It's easy in the best kind of way. I'm not saying that as a bad thing, but more like something to feel comfortable in, something that you can have in the background, something that you can enjoy listening to while you're working on something else. Yeah. it's that kind of song. It's pretty good, I have to say. And I'm gonna continue with the next songs on this list. And I once again have to talk about someone I've been hearing for a while about, and that is Maren Morris. She is working on some new music, and this song is called Welcome to the End, which is kind of alluring, but also doom-like, I have to say. But it's well worth your while. It's in that similar vein as In It With You with Greg David and JoJo, in that it's probably good for background music. As background music. Okay, let's continue. So, I said before that I've been listening to albums before, including the current new albums. And this next song is another collaboration of two artists on a new album, and it's Kesha's new album, the Dot album. The Dot or the Period album, depends on what you like to say. And it's called Boy Crazy, with Kesha and the artist Jade. I believe Jade is a former singer from a group. I'm gonna look that up for a moment. Or maybe I am mistaken, also possible. Just a second. No, but apparently I'm right. So Jade, in all caps, is an ex-member of the group Little Mix, and she's been making songs herself. I'm talking about Jade Furlwall, if I say that right. And she used to be in Little Mix, and now she is working on music of her own. And so she and Kesha have a song on Kesha's album called Boy Crazy. Like I said before, there are a lot of new artists these days when it comes to current pop music. And one of the people I'm thoroughly enjoying of this moment is David. It's spelled D4VD. And he has a song with another artist called Jason DeWeen. Or maybe I'm supposed to say that differently. And it's called Summer Uptown. And I'll continue with the next song by Jasmine Thompson, who has a piano version of her song Did I Miss It, which is also in Is Julie Here Already, in all caps. And we're on to the last 3 songs of this list, and that includes Hates Me Yet with 222 between parentheses of the band Camino from their latest record, followed up by an artist I've come to enjoy, Marta, with the song Cool. And then finally, the last song on this list is another John Michael Howell song, Prom. And I enjoy watching John Michael make these songs on TikTok. He is one of those people that I found that is literally making it. Like, he has this amusement park thing that he uses, whirling it to make songs of his own. And I've seen him do that for quite a bit of songs now, like Royal Mess, which keeps sticking in my mind because it's that good. Same thing with Brom as well. And so that is the end of this list, and I will be back with the next video about the new list. And this is an August tinted list, of course, because it's in the name, and I will do that in a moment. But first I want to thank you for sticking with me through this. I hope you enjoyed watching and listening to me talk about pop music of the moment with my lists. Is Julie here already in all caps? You can find a list on Spotify, and I hope to see you in the next video. I am Frederick, this is Pop Music Talk, and I will see you in the next video.